Plaintiff Julie Good says back in 1990, the defendant was dropped off at her house so Julie could babysit her. But no one ever returned to pick the defendant up. So Julie obtained legal custody years later. Julie is suing her daughter because she added her to her cell phone plan, but she failed to pay the bill. Defendant Amanda Beagles appreciates Julie and knows her life could have been much worse had she not taken her in. But Amanda claims she always felt like an outsider looking in because Julie and she never had a close relationship.
Start with you.
Well, Amanda came to live with me in 1990. She's my daughter, or in my heart, she's my daughter, but she's really not. I was asked to babysit, and they never came back for her. I got custody of her June the 10th of 92, so that's how long I've had her. And she's not a bad kid. I hate that we're even here today, but she got me to. I mean, I had to take her out of school because I couldn't get her to go to school, and
I never skipped school.
Oh,
Never.
Never?
Never.
I took her out of school because the
I was
truancy
pregnant.
officer came.
Because what?
The truancy officer came to my house.
Do you know of the truancy officer coming?
No, I went to night school. I got pregnant at 17.
I'm saying, do you know whether the truancy officer ever came?
No,
This
because I never missed school.
Okay. So she
I
said,
may not have done good in school.
Okay, but the question was whether the truancy officer came, and you say no. She says yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And then she got pregnant, like she said. On her the day before her birthday, I was given a phone call. Amanda wasn't there, saying that Amanda had planned on moving out of my house at midnight. I said, that's not going to happen.
So she kicked me out instead.
So I told her, are you planning on leaving at midnight? She said, yes. I said, then so be it, leave now.
How old was she?
17.
She would be 18 that night at midnight. So, you know what? If you're going to disrupt my house at midnight, you may as well go now while it's 5:30 in the afternoon, so I don't have to get
You say you want to leave, then you're an adult, then don't let me get in your way.
You know? So I said, that's it. She blew me off for several months. Like, I didn't know she got married. I found out later.
You were invited to my wedding. Dad wasn't even allowed to come to my wedding.
You can respond when she's finished.
I never found out about the wedding till it was over with. She gave birth to the baby. I got a phone call later after it was over with. So basically, if she's dissatisfied with you, she kind of erases you. You are, right now I'm not on her Facebook, I'm not her mom, because we have this situation.
Let me get some background from you, ma'am.
I've never wrote my mom off. I do appreciate my mom, and I do love her. You know, my life could have been a lot worse, but it could have been better too.
Tissue, please, girl.
I've always been the outsider looking in. We've never got along. We've never had a relationship of any sort. She knew of my wedding because she called my sisters.
Hold on, you never got along?
Never. We've never got along.
Really? If I took you in when you were a baby and your parents abandoned you, and then after she raises you, you turn around talking about y'all never got along. I got news for you. You did get along.
No,
Every time you sat at her table and ate, you were getting along. Every time she brought you clothes, you were getting along. Every time she put a shelter over your head, you were getting along. Let me tell you who you weren't getting along with. You know who you weren't getting along with? Your birth parents. Y'all didn't get along. Go ahead. That's very ungrateful to say something like that. Go ahead, ma'am.
You know, she did know about my wedding. She was mad at my sisters for being there. When I deleted her from my Facebook, I got a message from her telling her if I was going to delete her, I need to delete her husband and her kids because they're not allowed to be my family.
That's not true.
That is true.
Why did you delete her from your Facebook?
Because all she was talking about, I stole money from her, making it out that I stole this money from her.
All right, ma'am, tell me about the contract and the termination fee.
Amanda had split up with her husband, and she had a bad phone service. And she asked me, Mom, would you put me on my phone, on your phone service? Because my other daughter is on there. I'll pay my bill on time every month. The contract is each girl would pay $65 a month. I would pay the balance. Amanda, the very first month she was late. So I did the phone on standby to let her know I was serious. You have to pay your phone bill by the 9th every month or you won't have the phone. So she came and paid it. And then she did really good for a year. I mean, I don't want you to think she's horrible because she's just not. I do love this kid. But in December, she started staying out at her friends. If you live in my house, I don't care if you're 55. If you're my kid, I want to know where you are. I want to know you're not on the streets dead. I want to know that your child's not on the streets dead. You call me. She wasn't doing that.
Those are your rules. Those are your rules.
I was panicking. I want to know where you're at. Yes, I'm a control freak. I'm a mom. I think control freak and mom go together. Finally, I told her, I said, you know what? If you're going to stay over at your friend's house, that baby needs a place to sleep every night. You need to just move there. So she moved to her friends. She came and she paid the money she owed me in January. February, she wouldn't respond to me. She wouldn't call me back. So yes, I put a message on her Facebook. You owe me the phone bill money. You know, you're ignoring my texts. You're not answering my calls. So she deleted me. And she went out and got her own phone. So I did not shut the phone off until February the 12th, which meant she still owed for the bill that was due on the 9th. But now you've already incurred the next month. So I'm suing her to pay the 2 months she owes of $65 each.
That would be January and February?
Yes, sir. And the $120 cancellation fee, because at this point, I can't afford to cancel it. I have to pay it.
Ma'am?
I had every intention on paying the phone bill, but I knew it was going to be late. If I just ignored her, if I told her it was going to be late, it was going to cause a big deal. It does every time. I always paid my phone bill.
You know what the big deal would be? Her credit.
Right, which is fine by all means. Not fine, but not fine. But I had every intention on paying it. I did not get a new phone until she shut it off. And I was only going to be like a week late.
How long do you think you can be late?
You shouldn't be late at all, in which I totally agree. But the last time I was late, I paid the late fee. I had no problem doing that. She went ahead and shut it off. Well.
Okay. So she had one late payment there, right?
Yes, sir.
Strike one against your credit. You want how many other late payments?
No, I wasn't late all the time.
In many instances, they put that down as a late payment, and it goes on to her credit as we received late payments from Mrs. Good. Could jeopardize your credit. So she had every right. If you had been late several times, she had every right to turn it off, and she's smart to do so. So $250 for the plaintiff. Have a good day. That's my judgment.
Love, Amanda. I just want you to grow up and do your
Yeah, I gotta grow up. I know. I'm never gonna be good enough, and I'm okay with that because my life's been okay. When was the last time you seen William, Mom?
Yesterday morning.
Why? Because who had him?
Because Courtney. How many times have you called me to keep him?
How often do we talk?
When's the last time you called me?
You kept him in April, and that was it.
Why? Why did
Because I needed to work.
Because you needed a babysitter. Have you called me any other time?
Have you ever called me to ask to see him?
I shouldn't have to
How
call
often do you see Kirsten and
Guess
Lauren?
What? I call his grandmother and his father to get to see him.
That's your problem.